Equity financing grants investors direct control and governance rights, but exposes them to greater risk in insolvency. While debt financing provides creditors with contractual protections, priority in bankruptcy, and limited control over company decisions. Each choice carries distinct legal consequences for companies, management, and investors. The legal consequences of choosing equity versus debt financing center on differences in control, risk allocation, and remedies. Equity financing gives investors, shareholders, voting rights, influence over major corporate decisions, and the ability to elect directors, but places them last in line for repayment in bankruptcy. Debt financing provides creditors with contractual protections, priority claims in insolvency, and the right to enforce covenants, but generally does not grant them governance rights unless the company is in distress. For management, equity financing increases fiduciary duties to shareholders, while debt financing imposes strict contractual obligations and potential default risks. Equity holders directly influence corporate governance through voting rights, board elections, and approval of major transactions. Controlling shareholders are subject to fiduciary duties and judicial scrutiny, especially in conflicted transactions. Debt holders, creditors, lack governance rights, but can restrict company actions through loan covenants, e.g., limits on new debt, asset sales, or dividends. In default or insolvency, creditors may gain additional rights, such as enforcing security interests or negotiating for board representation. Equity investors are residual claimants. They receive payment only after all creditors are satisfied in bankruptcy, making their investment riskier, but with potential for higher returns if the company succeeds. Debt investors have priority in liquidation, secured by collateral, if applicable, and can enforce repayment through courts or bankruptcy proceedings. Their risk is lower, but returns are capped by interest payments. Equity holders can enforce their rights through derivative suits for breaches of fiduciary duty, appraisal rights to demand fair value in transactions, and voting rights enforcement. They primarily seek equitable relief when directors fail to act in their best interests. Debt holders, on the other hand, rely on contract law to enforce repayment terms, foreclose on collateral in secured loans, or accelerate debt obligations. In insolvency, creditors gain additional remedies by participating in bankruptcy proceedings to recover their claims. Both parties have distinct legal avenues based on their roles and priorities, regulatory and tax implications. Equity financing is subject to federal and state securities laws, requiring registration, disclosure, and compliance with anti-fraud provisions. Non-compliance can result in enforcement actions and penalties. Debt financing is governed by contract law, UCC Article 9 for secured transactions, and bankruptcy law. Publicly issued debt may also be subject to securities regulation. Tax treatment. Interest on debt is generally tax-deductible for the company, while dividends to equity holders are not, creating a tax incentive for debt financing. Debt financing offers greater legal protection and priority for investors, but limits their control, while equity financing provides governance rights and potential for higher returns at the cost of greater risk and regulatory burden. Choosing between equity and debt financing has profound legal consequences for all parties involved. Equity financing empowers investors with control and governance rights, but exposes them to greater risk in insolvency and regulatory compliance. Debt financing prioritizes creditor repayment and offers strong contractual remedies, but generally excludes creditors from corporate decision-making. Companies and their management must carefully weigh these trade-offs, considering their risk tolerance, need for control, and regulato their capital.